Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Growing Clip Bonsai for Seniors. My name is Tom Novak, and today we're going to do our money tree in a half whiskey barrel. You're saying, Tom, a whiskey barrel is too big, even a half one. You haven't seen the little one I got. So today is March 24th of 2023. It's Friday. It's 44 degrees Fahrenheit or 7 degrees Celsius right now at 6:30 in the evening. And they're saying tomorrow's supposed to get a mix of rain with a little bit of snow. And they says not a slight accumulation, just I don't trust their slight accumulation. Last time they said slight accumulation, we got a foot of snow. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But hopefully it's warm enough where it just rains and just a little bit of snow. So for a money tree, the good soil mix is 1 part peat, perlite, and coarse sand. And the whiskey barrel I'm using is right here. This is from my friend Jim at his Taste of Canton restaurant, and his Mingorelia died, so I figured, well, this being the year of the rabbit, I'm going to get him a money tree. And what I did on the bottom, so what you got to do, because this thing lays flat, I made slots in there and just colored in with magic marker, because once it lays flat, there's no way for the water to drain out. So by making slots in here, you can have the water drain out. Same thing if you use a teacup, it sits flat, so just slide it. So here's our money tree. We're going to start all over again. And I like Mr. T from Taco Bonsai. Mr. T, he said that his money tree reminds him of a baobab, and that's how he's going to try to grow it. So, Mr. T, good luck. I know you can do it, buddy. So if you look at a money tree, it's like the roots are up. So that's your baobab. So let's see how this thing looks. It's been sitting for a while. So let me get it out of the container. Just like that. Just like that. And timber. Okay. Now you don't need a fancy root rake. Go to garage sales. Get yourself a barbecue fork that they use for turning steaks and stuff. Best root rake in the world. So we're just going to take the soil off just a little bit. But first I'm going to immerse it in some water to get some of this loosened up off the top here. And I don't know if you can see it. Let me bring it in a little closer here. Yeah, it's a mess. I know I got to clean up. I don't know if you can see it better that way. And we're just going to take it just off a little bit. But what I'm going to do is spray here, because I don't want to ruin any of the top surface roots where it rooted at, so I can make it easier for the roots to come off. And because this is not it isn't an active growth, I got to get this in more water and just do it in an underwater root raking so I can get this all moistened up a little bit and just get everything off real nice and easy, so I don't tear most of them roots off, because this peat is dry as a bone. Now what's the killer of the money tree is too much love. And why? Because when you overwater them, they rot from the inside out. They get spongy. Now the other money tree that I had where the soil was no good, it is starting, the trunk is not rotting no more. It's starting to get harder, because I got it in my east living room window, and the sun hits it, so hopefully it'll pull through. Don't know, but you don't know unless you try. So we got some roots coming up to here. they got this all the way down into here, so I'm going to do the same thing. If I can get it in that much into the whiskey barrel, we'll see. But let's get all this soil out of the way. And let this soak a little bit in there in the water. Anytime you're all discombobulated today. And I got all this extra soil mix. And yes, I got napkins today. So let's get you back on track here. And we'll just get everything out, close the lid, put this back on, and get our whiskey barrel here. And what I'm going to do is, I got a 50-50 mix of fluorite and peat moss, and I'm just going to add this to the bottom so I get some good drainage right over the screen. I'm putting that in the whiskey barrel just a little bit on the bottom. And we got that going just like that. And then we're going to take our soil mix. I mixed the sun grow, and I just added a little more perlite to it so I can get that consistency. And then I added sand to it. So let's mix it a little bit more. And there it is with the sand in it. I'm just going to put a little on the top here. I don't know how much deeper we can put this in. It might be a little bit too big, but I don't think so. And then I'm going to take my Miko's fruit pack and stick it on the bottom. And because I like the beneficial bacteria because it gets the roots off to a good start. And if you root something, because the plants, the beneficial bacteria helps the plant to pull the carbon out of the air. I don't know if I'm saying it right. And what it does is, if you take, if you put mucus or a beneficial bacteria into sand, when you pull out that root system to transplant it and you see a dark center, that's the carbon that the beneficial bacteria help the plant pull out. Now you can see the way this was grafted or rooted. All this is hollow in here. So I'm going to really, really have to fill this in real good. Okay, I know I'm in your way. The hollow has to get filled up. So we get our chopstick and fire it in, blunt end into the hollow. That's Sleepy Hollow, you can say. Just get that chopstick fired in. Now we use the other side. Just fire it in. And then, with that hollow so it doesn't rot, I'm going to take my 50-50 mix and try to get some into that hollow. Because we want it to drain out fast. There we go. And this will help the moisture to get away from it. So hopefully, in time, I get my spoon with my rounded end, and we're just going to push it into the hollow. That way there, it'll be all right, hopefully. Okay. And then we'll get some more, and we'll stick it in. Now, because I had that soak in there, I want this to dry a little bit on the inside. Ooh, dust. There we go. So I'm not going to do much. Now you can see this is hollowed out too. So, Tom, what'd you do with the little one? Here it is. We're going to take some more of our 50-50 mix what I got in there. We're going to throw that into the hollow. No, it's not Sleepy Hollow. Well, you can pretend it's Sleepy Hollow. And that way there, the drainage will be better on that inside. Okay, Tom, what'd you do with your spoon? You're all discombobulated here. Here it is. And we'll just get it into the hollow there. And get this all in. Okay. Get that in there. There we go. This thing was really, I mean, I don't know how they rooted it and cut it out, but that's something else. Well, you never know what you get when you buy something from mass-produced stores, but what are you going to do? But Mr. T from Taco Bonsai, he did some nice money trees. And he says this reminds him of a baobab. And don't come to think of it, is Mr. T. Cool idea. That's Mr. T of Taco Bonsai. And yes, he's like Mr. T from the A-Team. I pity the fool. Or from Rocky. What are you going to do? Good old Rocky, that was a good movie. Mr. T. Only thing is, Mr. T doesn't wear all that fancy jewelry. So, we got this in. We're going to let that trunk dry. And because it's got a real light root system, we're going to just take maybe a couple of these big branches off. I'm going to snip it right there because I don't have a lot of root system. And by doing this, hopefully the vim and vigor will stay within the tree. Let me get this one out. And let the roots give more nourishment to the growth on top, and the growth on top can feed the roots. And we're going to just cut this one. Now, here's the brain. Remember, that's the brain. Let me get you in closer right there. Where the junction is, right below there, that's the brain. So if I cut it above here, it's going to tell it to grow this way. But if I cut it below and take this off, it's going to tell it, oh, I got to make roots. So right now, I want this to grow out more. So I'm going to take it off of here. And on this big one here, I want it to grow out a little bit too, so I'm going to take it right above. I always cut at a 45 because I know these will dry fast, but I don't want them to, any moisture when I spray it to get, how would you say, rot. Okay, all I'm going to do though is just wet the soil a little bit on the top, keep the dust from flying around. And then I'll see how the top goes. Get them roots a little bit there so maybe they can go into the soil. I don't know if these will root, but I got no room. Wish I could, but I have no room. I got to no room. Okay, so let's close this. And we'll throw that in there, into the water. Maybe we'll get some water roots, who knows. I gotta get this up and out of the way. And there you have it. Now, we're gonna take some rocks, and I'm gonna put it around there to stabilize it. And that way there, it'll keep Kevin from going inside and knocking the living daylights out of it. Kevin's rambunctious sometimes, but what are you gonna do? Kevin is Kevin. Now, we got that little cave in here. So, what can we put in that little cave? What do I have in my bag of tricks? Well, since the baobab is in Africa, my sister gave me some little toys she found. And we can have a lion coming out of the cave. There we go. And to cover up the some of this perlite, let's just put some of our little gravel in there. And then we can just sprinkle it around on the rocks. Just something to dress it up. And this thing is a real holy plant. I cannot believe it. Well, you never know when you dig into it. And there's our lion coming out. So there you have it. Now I'm going to let this sit for a week because we really soaked that trunk to get them roots free. And then I'll give it a bit of a watering. We'll see if it needs water by the leaf tips if they start to dry out. And I like to do this late because that way the plant has a chance to recover at night. Now you're going to say, Tom, that root might not grow. Well. We can bury it in the tips and some more of our sand for now. Not sand, our Peace River gravel. And maybe that'll help it go into the soil a little more. And there we go. Our money tree. So, today is Friday night. It's dance night. Husbands, wives, get that table and chair pulled out of the way. Put on some old-time big band music. Get a cup of tea going. Have a little dance with yours to remember the old days when you met. Grandma, get Grandpa off that couch. Tell him let's go. Have a little dance, even if he's like this. Even if he's dance a little bit. Loosen up the muscles a little bit and then sit down, have a cup of tea and enjoy big band music when music was music. So, this is our money tree, or as Mr. T would say, our baobab tree. Because it always has the thick bottom and it's got the growth on top. Mr. T, I like his name. Mr. T from Taco Bonsai. So you take care, everybody. Mr. T, I hope you not upset for giving me your nickname, but I think you sound pretty good. So you take care, everybody. Have a nice dance. Sit back and relax with that hot cup of tea. And enjoy big band music. And remember, it was music when music was music. Take care, everybody.